Topic two today was a cool concept that comes to us from a friend of the program, Craig Bowers, Boilers in the Stands. Mr. Bowers. I love everything Craig puts together with the Boilers guys. And last night, he put his own spin on some of these coaching discussions we've had. Like last week, you and I did like 10 coaches for 10 years from now. And yesterday, Carter and I did like what coaches would we bet to win a title versus bet not to win a title. So, a lot of coaching conversations. You might hear us say some of the same things again here, but this is a unique way I haven't thought about this to put on this from Craig. Craig asked and tagged us on Twitter and said, best coach in 2025 to assemble and coach a team, not looking at accolades that they have accumulated over long careers. I think this is a great convo given NIL and transfer portal changes. It is a unique way to look at it because anyway, we've had these other discussions. We've always been like, well, he's won before. He could get another one. He hasn't done it. None of that matters. Drop all of that. Pretend that an asteroid wiped out everything before this year. We only know what these guys' skill sets are. We don't know what their accomplishments are. What five coaches in order would you rank 1 through 5 in terms of simply assembling a roster in the NIL transfer portal era and then coaching that team to a championship?
Shire, all by himself. I think Shire's all by himself. If it's just this conversation, it starts with Shire completely by himself. I think second is Pope. After that, it gets kind of tough though. I think you could go Paint, Dusty, Golden. You probably have to put Bruce Pearl in it too, just because I think Bruce Pearl's navigated the NIL era well. Nate Oates, if he hypothetically had NIL, could be in there too. Kevin Young as well.
So this is my issue. Started with Shire and Pope, who have both been really high on previous versions of our coaching conversations.
Yeah.
I think if we are simply isolating skill sets this year and dropping every single coach in the same situation, you kind of lose the luster of like, well, they're running the blue blood, right?
Oh, wait, but I thought so. Wait, they're getting put in the same situation, but then they're building a roster there, or is the roster already built for them? My bad.
In my head, I'm sort of viewing this as you are building a roster from scratch, and
Okay.
every coach has the same. You could approach it with the same resources however you want.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. Like I'm fine putting Shire somewhere there, maybe Pope. I don't know that he would be in mine just because I don't know. I think he has gone after a lot of role player types, and I don't think last year's team or this year's team necessarily has had national championship ceilings. So, like, to me, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. I'm going to give Craig's answers first because he responded to his tweet with his five, and there were a lot of people who responded to his tweet with their answers. But Craig's answers were Dan Hurley, Kelvin Sampson, Matt Painter, Nate Oates, Dusty May. I was happy to see Dusty on the list. I was surprised Craig put Dusty in there. Some other people responded, and Izzo was in theirs, given what he's been able to do in the last year. Here's what I would say. If it was just coach a team to a win and not about like build a roster in this era, Matt Painter's my number one without question. But I get lost with Painter and with multiple other coaches I would put on this list when it's talking about building a roster from scratch. That sounds weird because Painter's built the best roster in the sport this year. But Paint, literally, people were screaming this at me last offseason. Oh, I mean, he's developing this year. He's slow playing it. It's all about the big picture. I don't want a coach in my top 5 that I think isn't going to use all of his resources in a year for quote unquote development, right? Like Paint literally last season said, I'm not going to portal. I'm not going to recruit over guys. I'm not going to make promises. He didn't bring a transfer in and he lost Cannon Catchings because of it. And the team was 2 pieces short of being championship good. So he has corrected his wrongs, but like I don't even want to have a coach that has a risk of doing that, right? Like Tom Izzo clearly has a risk every year of not using resources he has. Matt Painter has done that as well. Shaka Smart is another guy who I think has done that as well. To me, I think if this is the exercise, no matter how good they are X's and O's wise, it's about building a roster from scratch. I can't factor in a coach who might not use all his resources over certain others in this era. Is that fair or am I tripping on that?
No, I think that's completely fair because when you brought up the idea of Shire and Pope being at Blue Bloods kind of hurting them, my brain kind of went to, are we 100% sure if Paint, or I think you could even say Dusty to an extent, Izzo, so on and so forth. If they were at a Blue Blood, they would use the resources that came with the Blue Blood. I think we know Dusty would. That's why I would have him on the list. Paint, Izzo, Shaka, like you mentioned, some of the other coaches. I don't know if they do anything differently at Duke than they're doing at Purdue, Michigan State. I guess Michigan State could be a Blue Blood, of course, but I don't think they do anything differently with the resources if they're available. So I think that should hinder them a little bit too.
Yeah, I guess just my boxes to check here in terms of build your roster and then coach it to a title would be number one, have you crushed the transfer portal with impact players? Yes or no? Then two, are you recruiting prep level still? Are you bringing in NBA talents from prep?
Mhm.
Then three, how's your player development? Then four, how's your X's and O's coaching wise? Painter is Oshaka, player development and coaching X's and O's wise? Absolutely. I think you could even put them high school recruiting very high. But the transfer portal thing is such an element of this. And I understand we're supposed to drop past accomplishments, but to me, spending a whole season where you didn't use the portal to me is not an accomplishment. It's just a part of who you are philosophically that I wouldn't want to deal with in this era. So I'm gonna just disqualify those guys. To me, Dan Hurley is number one. I think we've seen him bring in championship caliber transfers. Tristan Newton, Cam Spencer. We've seen him develop pros, Stephon Castle, Donovan Kling, and Liam McNeely. And we know he can coach X's and O's, Y's, and all of that. I think Dan Hurley has to be number one right now. Outside of that, I think Nate Oates' X's and O's philosophy is good enough. It should be there. I think Kelvin Sampson's proven product. And again, he's brought in transfers. He's put guys in the league. His team finishes number one on KenPom every single season in the portal era. I don't know how you could deny that. Those would be my unequivocal top three, I think. Hurley, Sampson, Oates. Then you got to make an argument for people you just believe in. And I don't know who my next two would be outside of that.
I want to make an argument for Shire to be in that top three, just because the exercise says to remove past accomplishments. It doesn't say to remove past rosters. Some of those rosters that those top three coaches have put together in the NIL era are stinky, like some nasty rosters. Like Dan Hurley from the portal pulled Terrace Reed and said, "That's my starting center." You know what I mean? Like some of the moves that those coaches made are nasty. Shire, when it comes to just pure roster building, hasn't missed yet.
Yeah, yes, but it's just Duke. And he also has like this year he didn't use the portal.
But Cedric Coward.
I mean, it doesn't count, right? Last year he brought in two vet role player type, but like it's pretty clear Shire just wants to do the freshman thing, which is fine. To me, I think you're Duke. You could get a better portal superstar probably and not go into a season with Caleb Foster at point guard.
Well, I don't, yeah. But I mean, the development wise, though, too, when you factor in development, Con Knipple went from being like not on draft boards to what he went fourth.
I mean, yeah, but I'm trying to win a championship. I'm not trying to develop Conca.
No, but I mean, like he has player development because Tyrese Proctor too, right? Like I think he's shown he can develop players at a high level. He's shown he can recruit better than anybody. I think he's shown he can build a roster better than most people on the list. I mean, Kelvin Sampson, I think probably has him beat out. He had a short period of time. He hasn't missed on his roster yet. X's and O's is tough, but I just don't think he's missed on every other category yet.
It's fair. I don't hate it. He won't be on my five, but he can be on your five, and I don't hate that. I have two other nominations I just want to float. Tommy Lloyd has not had the March breakthrough, but he's always built top 10 caliber teams. He's done it through the portal. He's done it through freshmen. He's got arguably the best freshman incoming class this year outside of Duke. He's also Team USA's coach. I think that matters. And if I was trying to like pick a guy to do it for 1 year, I think having the guy that's running Team USA at the prep level probably matters, similar to how it used to with Coach K. And then I would also just add, you kind of glossed over him quickly, but I think he deserves a shout. Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
I think what he did with Janai Broom happened before anyone else had done it in the portal. Like, he took a portal guy, made him the National Player of the Year. Todd Pettiford's freshman development was better than anyone expected. I just kind of trust Bruce Pearl to be in the mix. For only one season, he gets more appealing than he would if you dragged it out a little bit. Other nominations I think have to be on the list. You can't go too far without thinking about Kevin Young here. Just given the roster that he's building, and year one was a smashing success from a play style perspective. He's not far off where Dusty May is. In fact, like, I think Craig had Dusty May on his list. I'd probably put Kevin Young ahead of Dusty May for similar reasons Dusty is on Craig's list. And then lastly, I know it's this era and people won't like it because it's been down. You can't forget Bill Self. You just can't. And I understand we're dropping past accomplishments, but Bill Self did win a national title in the portal era. He did. He's had 3 really disappointing seasons since, centered around Hunter Dickinson. But sometimes I feel like we're getting too cute when we're naming like some up and comers when like Bill Self clearly has championship shit to him if he has the right pieces. He just hasn't had the right pieces, and that's a miss.
I think Bill Self is a good shout, but also it is the portal era.
Right.
Yeah, I think in the portal era he's missed a lot. But can we blame him for missing with Hunter Dickinson? Every coach in the country would have taken Hunter Dickinson that year.
Right. And like, I mean, last year AJ Storr was a portal win. Clearly it didn't work, but I don't know how mad we can get at Bill Self for botching the portal. He's built the preseason #1 team 2 straight years, and then it's just kind of messed up. So I think my official 5, I'm gonna go Kelvin Sampson 1, actually. I think the fact that he's always built the best team deserves to be 1. I'm gonna go Dan Hurley 2. I'm gonna go Nate Oates 3. I think I'm going to go Tommy Lloyd 4. And I think I'm actually going to go Todd Golden 5. And I know I'm not supposed to do accomplishments, but I don't know how you look at what Florida's doing again this year and don't want that factored in. What's your official 5?
I think so. My 5, and this is just portal era, who I believe in for everything. I think I'll go Kelvin Sampson 1. I think he's shown the most creativity in his roster building. And like Shire, I don't think he's really missed on his roster yet. And he has the X's and O aspect to it. Number 2, I think is going to shock everybody. I think I'm going to go Will Wade. I think if all things are equal, you give Will Wade.
Jesus.
I think you give Will Wade the same amount of resources you give everybody else. Everything equal. We know he can coach X's and O's. We know he can develop players. We know he can recruit. I think Will Wade has to be up there only in the NIL era. He also has the most experience in the NIL era because he did it long before anybody else. 3, I do believe is Dan Hurley. I know we're not supposed to look at past accomplishments. 2 championships in the NIL era. There's only been like 4 of them. I'm sorry, he has to be on the list. Shire 4. I think 5, I would probably go Bruce Pearl.
I do not endorse that list with Will Wade at 2. Just want to be extremely clear. Shout out to Craig for the prompt. That was a fun discussion. This video is brought to you by NBA 2K Labs, or maybe college football labs, because the people behind 2K Labs have just built something awesome. CFBLabs.com has everything you need to play college football 26 even better. Cart, you've been playing the game, right?
I have been, but I'm behind the 8 ball, Gregory. There's a lot of people out there who got a little bit of edge on me, but the good folks over at 2K Labs got me covered. They got the playbooks I need, the plays, the head-to-head coaches, knowing some teams. Obviously, way too many college football teams. I need the inside edge here, and they got all different types of things to help me get that edge.
Yeah, I jumped in and started playing Road to Glory over the weekend, and I ended up like a 2-star recruit that did not get 1 snap in season 1 because I chose the wrong school with the wrong roster that was way too loaded. Had I known that CFBLabs.com exists, I would have made a much more wise decision in my Road to Glory mode. They've got teams, playbooks, coaches, team comparison tools. You can literally see every single play in the game, every player in the game, their rating, what they're good at, all in one consolidated place online to help you make the right choices and win more games in college football 26. CFBLabs.com. Go check it out.